everyone. This is Jennifer Lont with Homeworks by Precept, and it's a rainy day here in Michigan, but I want to take this time this afternoon to do a quick little video for you to show you how I organize my BJU Press homeschool stuff. It's going to look a little different for every family, but I want to show you the way we do it so maybe you can get some different ideas, things that maybe would work for you. So I'm going to end this video and then I'm going to flip the camera around so I can keep showing you around my schoolroom. Okay, here we are. I have two desks or tables in my schoolroom. The one that you see right now, the white table, is my 9th grader's area, and he does almost every class online. So he has a laptop right there, and we have raised his laptop this year with a Log Science kit, which he needs for physical science anyways, but we raise it up so that the screen is at his eye level and he doesn't need to slouch or look down all day. And then over here, this desk is an IKEA desk that we found at a yard sale, which was a fabulous find for us, and I really like it. This is where I did most of the instruction throughout the years. I would teach whatever classes were parent-led right here at this desk. And in the past, when I did all the classes parent-led, I would teach one of my sons while the other did seat work at the white table. And we would just switch back and forth all day until all of the subjects were done. But now my 6th grader mostly sits here. He does half of his classes online. I teach the other half, or he does them independently. So he sits here, I sit on the other side. I have my laptop there. So if I have a few minutes, I can open up the online portal and I can check some work and try to get that taken care of. The binder that's on the desk is also is my planner, and all three of us share it. I will tell you a little bit more about that a little bit later. And then I wanted to point out that both this IKEA desk and this table that I bought at Sam's Club have adjustable legs. So they worked for my boys whenever they were in kindergarten, and they will still work for my boys whenever they are high school seniors and taller than I am. So now I'm going to show you some things that are on the walls, and I'm going to start over here because I want to show you this timeline. This comes with the previous edition of Heritage Studies, or maybe I bought it in addition. I can't remember if it came in the kit or not, but it was really great for us. So throughout elementary school, as we studied different events in history, we would add them to the timeline. So we've got everything from the Mayflower all the way up through Henry Ford and the 19th Amendment. And it really helped us to place things in history and to see what else was occurring at the same time. Then over here, I have a number line that wraps around the top of this wall, and also the BJU Press cursive handwriting chart set. We used to have the pre-cursive set on the wall, and of course as my boys got older I replaced it with a cursive, and now they don't need that either, but I've just not taken it down. And then over here on this wall, usually that's where I would change posters. I might put up something that was just gave them a little extra information, like maybe a diagram of the skeletal system, or maybe some different rocks and minerals, or a poster of the classification of leaves or constellations, things like that. Just something to keep them learning. And these pocket charts we put up when my boys were younger. I used them for high frequency word cards in kindergarten, and we've used them for spelling challenge words because they're not in the workbooks. We added them to the list, and that way they could see them every day. We've also used them for languages. We did some Latin words, and now it's being used for elementary science, or Spanish, excuse me, elementary Spanish. And then over here, these are our school rules. Most importantly, the boys needed to learn to obey right away, and then work until their job was done, always do their best, and then display a Christ-like character. We have focused on other things as well through the years, but these were the basics that I chose and put on the wall. And over on this wall, I've got this huge whiteboard. My husband made that for me, and it has been well loved, as you can tell. I don't use it as much as I used to. I used it a lot whenever the boys were younger, but it's still helpful. Right here, there's a little bit of tape because my oldest is also taking Spanish and Spanish 1 in high school, so he has labeled things in our classroom. And last year I added these two signs, not that they're all so fancy or pretty, but the idea behind them is really helpful for us. We have the planner that tells us our general lessons for the days, but sometimes there's something extra that needs to be done, like maybe there's a doctor's appointment, or it's trash day, or something. If there's something extra I need them to do, even their chore for the day, I will write it down in that column today. I started out with just one column, and then we added a second one because there were times that my boys needed something from me. So let's say they need something from the grocery store because we need to do a science experiment and we don't have that particular item in the house. Or let's say they need me to correct something so they could take a quiz. They will write it on the board, and that way we can all just look at what's on the list rather than just verbally doing it. It keeps us on track a little bit better. Okay, so let's move to this desk area. I like doing stations. So over on the left is my station, everything that the teacher will need. And over here on the right are my boys' books on the bottom shelf there, and those are everything that they will need while they do their lessons. That way we're not in each other's way as we do our school day. I also have on the second shelf up there, those are supplies, things like Sharpies, whiteboard markers, Post-it notes, whiteout, even like the little sliding thing that I use to grade and to get a percentage for their tests and quizzes. Those are in those drawers. And then over here I have some trays, and in those trays that's where they turn in their work. So top tray is where my oldest son turns in his work. Second tray is where my younger son turns it in. Once I check them, I put the work to return to them in the bottom two trays. If you want to know a little bit more about how we do that, you can go to YouTube and type in Jennifer Lont correcting papers, and I've made a whole video about how I do that, so that will explain what we do. It's just important to have a place to put the papers that are corrected and a place to put them whenever they go back. Routines are just really helpful to homeschool. So I'm going to go over here to this shelf and show you a little bit more what I have in my station. I have teacher's manuals that I use to teach my 6th grader on this side. And then this binder, let's see if I can show you. I have all of his video lesson guides and the tests that he will need for the year from parent-led classes. So we do half video and we do half parent-led, and I've got everything for the 2 in this binder. So in the beginning I have just the 3 video lesson guides that he does, and then in the back I have tests for math. So it's got the blank test first, and then right behind it, oh, that's still a blank test. There we go. Then I have the answers for the tests. So that's math, and then English, blank, and then the answers. And then I left in here the history and science tabs, but we're actually doing them online, so he will have his tests online for history and science. So that's his binder. And then right over here I have some teacher's editions. I bought the online class for Writing and Grammar 9. However, I like to teach it myself, so I also purchased the teacher's edition, and that way I've got a physical copy to teach from. I have my grade book here. I've got one for each of my sons. And if you want to know more about how I use the grade books, you can also look at that correcting papers video, and I explain how I use them. But most of the online classes, I just use the online grade book. The paper grade books were when I was doing parent-led or any parent-led classes. So I also have all my correcting pens and my stapler and something to erase the whiteboard. I've got all that stuff there within reach. This binder right here has all of the video lesson guides for my high schooler. And I don't need to make a new binder each year. All I need to do is take out the old guide and put in the new one. So like writing and grammar, he has that every single year. So I pop out year 9 and pop in year 10. So that's really easy to set up my binder. The video lesson guide is going to be like your lesson plans. Each page is a whole week's worth of lessons, and it tells you what videos there are, what text, what assignment, what needs to be checked. Everything is in here. So every single video lesson guide has its own tab, and if I need to look something up, it's in this binder. You'll get 2 copies of the video lesson guides with your order. You will get a copy, and you'll get a copy in the student handout package for your child. So I will show you what my son's student handout package looks like. He had to have 2 binders for all of his high school classes. And so this one for English, they're the student handouts for English, and he has anything that the teacher wanted to add that wasn't in the book. So if he needs a handout, he pulls out this binder. If he needs to look at the video lesson guide, he's got a copy of that as well. So that was for writing. Now I'm going to do the second semester class, literature. Has the handouts first, and then I have a little tab in here, and the little tab separates it from the video lesson guide in the back. So he had 2 subjects in this binder because literature has a lot of handouts. This green binder over here has the rest of his classes organized the same way. So then these are the boys' books. Down here are the high school books. Over here are the 6th grade books. And then there, of course, are some up here that I need to correct because I haven't done that for a few days because I've been doing other things. Here on my desk, I also have a planner. Now, I use this all the time whenever I did parent-led, and I made it myself because I needed something that made sense for us. So what I'm going to do at the beginning of each week, I will go through like with the English Teacher's Edition, and I will write down on Monday what needs to be done in this square, and then on Tuesday what needs to be done in that square, and Wednesday I'll have a different page for every day of the week. I put the day up here, so I usually do the day and date. And then I usually have my son's name up here too, but I took that out for the video. So son 1, son 2. So this is the viola boy and this is the cello boy. And then I will write the lessons for each subject here. And in general, they do study the same subjects. They both have English, they both have literature. My older son has vocabulary and my younger one has handwriting, so I put them in the same column or row. So the vocabulary assignment would go here and the handwriting assignment would go there. And then only my elementary son would do spelling, so this box wouldn't have anything in it. They both take Spanish, they both have math, they both have history and science and Bible. So 1 page for 1 day. I leave it out on my desk just like this, and then as we go through our day, my boys will come through and they will cross off what they've done. They really like that because it makes them feel like they're accomplishing something, and it helps all of us see at a glance what we've done and what we still need to do. But as I said, the courses that we do online, we don't put on this planner anymore. So I probably will have a blank column this year, and I'll just fill in the classes that I need to teach for my younger son. So over here on the boys' side of the desk, we also have some math manipulatives, Unifix cubes and place value blocks, and I have some general school supplies like extra pencils maybe and colored pencils. In the drawer with the dice, I have some math manipulatives, and then I've got a drawer that are just games. So I have basic supplies there that are easily within their reach. And then over on this side, that gray bundle is my son's Hobbit cloak, or I guess Lord of the Rings cloak from the elves his grandma made for him. And then we have a book basket, and that's where we put any books we're currently reading or we just haven't shelved them yet. And then we have this bookshelf, one of many. Here are many Journey Forth books. We love them. They are excellent extra reading with a Christian worldview. We have many other books as well. The ones with yellow are all history books. The ones with orange duct tape are science. And then on top of the bookcase, we have headphones, we have Kindles and cords, and we have extra copy paper and lined paper. That's what a lot of assignments are written on in our house. And then we have many Legos. And then over here under the printer, I've got lots of extra computer paper right here so we don't have to go searching for it. And then one of these columns belongs to one of my sons, a slot for every class. One of these belongs to my other son, and we haven't cleaned them out yet from last year. And then I have my printer, which is also a copier. That has been very helpful because sometimes there are resources in the back of the teacher's editions that we need to photocopy. So I have that right here in my schoolroom. And then right next to the printer is my heavy-duty 3-hole punch, which is really nice to have too. As soon as I print it, I hole punch it and it goes in one of our binders. And then we've got some extra stuff like the elementary Spanish kit box. There are parts and pieces that we haven't used yet. And I think that's about it. So that is an overview of our schoolroom. Oh, I do see we've got the CD player up on the top. I am pretty tall, so I can reach it up there, and we have some CDs that come with some of the classes, so we listen to those as we need to. But I hope that you will get some ideas from this walkthrough and that it can be helpful to you and your family as you homeschool.